you definitely get hit with a bit of adversity when you're sparring. And I feel as though, I don't know if it's getting punched in the head that brings up those feelings of, being overwhelmed or emotions or whatever it is. But you have to go through that. And I think there's a point, and that's why I said you get those hard sparring sessions out in the first part of fight camp, because I think it's important that people have that adversity. They don't always feel like, I had an easy sparring session my whole way to fight camp. To the fight, and then they get to the fight and they get hit with their first part of adversity and they crumble. So I think there's definitely a part of fight camp where the sparring needs to be as close to fight scenarios as it can, obviously with no open elbows or knees or crazy techniques. But people need to be tested. They need to be shark tanked. They need to be put through the rigor to make sure that they've experienced that mental duress, that when they come to the end of fight camp and they're building their confidence and they go to fight, that if something does, or a spanner gets thrown in their works, or the opponent moves a certain way they didn't expect, or they get hurt, that they can bounce back from that. So that's the resilience that you kind of develop in fight camp. And like you alluded to, there's hard times in fight camp. There's times when you go to sparring, and I know myself when I went to sparring and I feel like leaving there crying because you lost, you got beat up. And you
kind of feel like you're like, I'm not going to come back tomorrow. Like you literally,
you're like, am I a fighter or am I just a little bitch? Because maybe I should go get a job. As down there doing something else is a little easier. This fighting stuff, maybe I'm not cut out for it.